Hey guys, it is 3/22/25. This is for my FTT 210, my custom stock building class. This is Kyle Burge. Today we're doing the inletting of the musket stock for the kit that I was sent, as well as setting up the brass pieces for later. I'm starting with the stock just because it's a bit easier to start with, but this should go pretty well. So, to begin with, the inletting is kind of the carving and marked carving to smooth in order to allow the trigger set and the hammer in. I think today we're focusing on the hammer itself, but I will double check that to be safe. But to start, I'm going to start by just turning this down so that way it can be a little bit better seen. And I'm going to start by cleaning up some of the rough areas just because I already know that those are going to be a problem. And then I'll take this inletting stuff, this Permatex. I've never used this, so I apologize if I do not say it correctly. But this Prussian blue Permatex, in order to mark these areas once I'm done kind of getting the rough stuff cleaned up. So a piece is already broken off. I'm not sure if that's going to affect the structural stability of this piece or not. Either way, right now it is a kind of rough fit, but I noticed on this stock it has this super thin piece right here. I can just break off, and I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. I don't think it is, because on the back it connects to where one of those screw holes is. But it's thin and falling off anyway, so I guess I'll just kind of go through and clean it up and hope for the best. A little bit of this rough stuff up here where the barrel's going to be better, just because I'm already working around this area. go. Not most of that rough stuff. We want things up. Let's go ahead and grab this. Let's put just a little bit around the edges of this hammer. So I press it down. It will hopefully mark the areas that it needs work on. Yeah, just coat that just a bit. Let's see. So already I'm telling tell it's gonna need it up here. Wipe those off on my shorts because I don't care. So yeah, up here it's kind of snug, so I do. I'll go ahead and close this up as of not to make a bigger mess. Gonna go ahead and take this straight chisel, kind of edge a bit. I'd say that fit really well. I am gonna go through. Kind of surprised at how well that went. It's a little snug up top by the actual hammer. Oh, snug's not always a bad thing, but it's not always a good thing either. So I'm just gonna go ahead and smooth. Ignore me dropping everything. Hello? No, this is Mr. Snuffleupagus. I mean, I've got water. I mean, not much. I'm just kind of worried. I'm here. Be a good night to do it. All that rain, you'll sleep real well. Um, I'm just working on some homework. Aye, aye. All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. Later. Now, let's try it. There we go. That is what I would call a perfect fit. So, It's still just a bit snug right on this edge. All right. And I think say that is good contact on the wood without being too snug, that it would spread and crack. Gives it a nice grip without being overboard. So I'm going to pause, grab my file set, and go ahead and start working on the brass then, I guess. But as you can see, I've got just a little bit of that blue and stain in there as I have been going through and putting this in and out and checking it. But I would say that that fits very nicely. I think at some point before I put the whole thing together, I'm definitely going to have to clean this, and I may just go ahead and do that now. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. All right, I think that's good. I think that fits really nicely. It's a bit, it was a bit in there. Uh, I think now that I've done, well, I'm still catching that side a little bit. You know, it's the same. There we go. That fits in there nice. And snug without being overly tight and without that piece of stock in the way of me pulling back the hammer now. Just have to smooth that out a bit on top. Alright. Now I will go and grab that file set and I will go ahead and start getting the brass trimmed down. Now, got my files. I'm thinking that I am just going to start something small, see how dense this brass is before I try slugging off a bunch of metal and not being able to fix it. So this is going to sit here. As you can see, it's not very even, not very clean. So I'm going to go through and really start cleaning up this, try to make that as even as possible. Just even by line of sight, I can tell it's not quite even. Go ahead and set the stock behind me for now while I work on this. I unfortunately do not have a vise, so I'm just that is already looking a lot better. Stock's gonna need some work before it'll fit perfectly onto the stock. I can at least test its alignment. So as I'm looking at this, fortunately, as I said, I do not have a vise to set up like the person who I watched their video for this, to study for it and kind of understand, make sure I knew what everyone was talking about. That person is Tradesman Firearms. He's the one who made the video that I've been kind of using to study for this lab. It has been extremely helpful. Let's try this one. Try to smooth it out a bit. See if I can grab the right file. Might also help if I didn't hit my laptop. Ooh. Almost got my feet. Don't do that. Don't do that. Needs a little bit more. I'm gonna pause the recording in order to kind of shorten the time of this video. But as you can see, there's still some of those teeth marks. I've got it to the level I want it to be at, and I'm using this file to just kind of less aggressive file to just kind of smooth out that texture so that way it'll grip nice on the wood. So I will be back in just a minute. Alright, I'd say that the butt plate looks really good. It's nice and smooth all the way down, and it is nice and even like I was looking for. Once I get it onto the wood more, I can work the wood around it more. But I think that that is almost exactly what I'm looking for. It's nice and snug without, well, obviously there's some gaps, but once I have the wood done up a little bit more to match it, I think that will fit really nicely. A big part of where it's kind of messing me up is this line right here that I'm guessing when I do the stock piece, um, I think that's in next week's, but I will double check before I turn in this video. But I will probably smooth that out then. I will double check. Glad I double checked because we are actually doing the stock this week. That is my bad. So I will go ahead and start applying the Prussian blue in order to kind of show me where on the stock this is going to sit so I can start working that. Start applying this. And press it down. Yep. And I will get to work. Alright. I think now that I have this done, I'm going to go ahead and I think this is married to it pretty well. But I think that looks pretty good. I kind of overdid it on this end a bit, and that's kind of my fault. First time doing it. I think I'm gonna call that good. And I'm going to screw this in and then start on the toe plate on the bottom. I think because I went a little deep, I'm gonna have to move this lip up forward a bit to make sure that that toe plate will fit all the way on there. But that shouldn't be too hard, so give me just a minute. I'm going to go find a drill and get this put in. I forgot to push play. I attached the buttstock and the butt plates on there. I am currently drilling the holes for the toe plate. Go just a bit too far on the grinding with this file for it, but my first time, I would consider it not bad, me personally. It might help if I have it face the right way, just a little bit, right? I think I may need slightly larger, a little bit. Probably just two sizes up. And on the outside, the two plates by accident make great wide holes. So I will start that. Just gotta get threading to attach. Once it grabs, perfect. All right, there we go. The toe plate is on, and then I think the rest was just adding the yeah, there we go. Sorry about forgetting to show the inletting and the attaching of the toe plate. I got caught up working and I did not think about it. But I have prelimmed brass. I got those two pieces. Then I did inlet the lock. So that's on there nice. It didn't say to attach it yet, and I'm assuming that's because the trigger assembly and everything's still got to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. Thank you guys, and have a nice day.